Hello and welcome to Achievement, your inspirational program right here on the Achievement channel, Nigeria's #1 100% motivational television station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio right here in Ikoyi, Lagos. The program dedicated to empowering men to lead purposeful lives, succeed in their careers and uplift their communities. I'm your host, Martins Oloye, and today we have two incredibly accomplished guests who exemplify what it means to lead with purpose and make a lasting impact. First, we have ESV Johnbull Amayaevbo, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, a passionate mentor, philanthropist, and the CEO of Johnbull Amayaevbo and Co., with decades of leadership in estate management and professional development. Joining him is Mr. Chris Ogbaisi, an experienced finance professional who served at the director level in the insurance sector, a motivational speaker and a dynamic entrepreneur, active in finance and agriculture and advisory service. Today's topic is leading with purpose, building a career that impacts lives. So sit back as we explore how these men have not only built successful careers but also positively impacted others along the way. Thank you once again. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you.
ESV Johnbull Amayaevbo MNI and
you.
Mr. Chris Ogbaisi.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much for being with us once again. I'll start with you, sir. I would like to address you as ESV Johnbull. Is that fine?
Yes, very.
MNI. So what's MNI? Let's start from
Member National Institute.
Member National Institute.
You achieve that after spending minimum of 10 months at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies Guru.
NIPS Guru.
NIPS
I've been
Guru.
there.
Think tank.
That's where I met my wife.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure you know what it takes to have MNI there.
So a lot of people there, Yaradua, Obasanjo, El Rufai, so I understand.
Thank you.
So that's why I asked again, MNI.
Thank you.
So I know it's a very big feather to your heart.
Thank you,
So
sir.
what first drew you into the field of real estate and estate management?
First of all, I enter by coincidence. It was not my first choice. However, immediately I got to the school, Yaba College of Technology, and I saw potentials right from the beginning. I knew I was, destined by God to read this profession. So I would say that immediately after looking at those potentials, I know that for me to achieve something, for me to become somebody here, I have to be very passionate about the school, the study, the profession. So that was how everything began.
That's inspiring. That's inspiring. Mr. Chris, taking a cue from the passion that you just mentioned, I would like to know, how did you transition? What was the moment? What made you transition from insurance to structured finance and what you're doing right now, entrepreneurship? Because I've read your bio, it's heavy. So let me just leave it like that. So what made you transition from insurance and go deep into this unknown world of many parts.
I mean, in the insurance industry too, before I left, I was the MD of the insurance sector. That's the company Spring Life. So I knew a little bit about structured finance then, when companies taking over through merger and acquisition. So when I left now, I started understanding certain things wrong in Nigerian economy. One man business. It starts and die when the owner died. So when I noticed this, I started seeing a lot of businesses there that has a lot of potentials. And the NGS Grow Board also promoted that, okay, fine, let's start having young companies coming on board so that investors can, like we were talking recently, we have a lot of money in the circulation. A lot of money. But the question there is, where is the structured system? If you ask any entrepreneur today, where is your financial statement, they don't have it. The fee is not necessarily, I'm managing my money. So those are the things I noticed, that lack of funding. But they have ideas. But lack of funding. But funds are there, but there is no structured system to attract the funds.
Beautiful.
So when there are no structured system to attract the funds, what do people like us do? We come in, provide solution. And so that I started then, when Spring Life could not, because the Spring Life issue then was the CBN directive said divest all subsidiaries. That was the Enterprise Bank, that was Heritage Bank. But we tried then, let's get in invest. Don't kill business. Killing business simply means that you are creating unemployment. And when you keep creating unemployment, what happens to us? You understand? Government will keep putting it as a problem. So every government that will come in, you keep putting it there that you have a problem. No. You need to solve that problem, and the only way you can solve the problem is to go back to the informal sector. Those are the sector that contributes 62% to the GDP of this country. I keep saying it. And when they do that, and they are not properly structured in terms of equity and debt. How do we balance it? Where is the bank that want to finance them today? They'll call them startup businesses.
And no one is ready to...
And nobody is ready to take risk, to put money. So what do we do? So that's when people like us come in, we pick some businesses, we try to restructure it. This should be on our funds. Let this be for the area of debt. Let us look at your portfolio, the nature of your business. When are you expected to get returns on this? So if this deploy and get returns on this, you need to go for more of debt.
So that's some form of structured mentoring. And I'll draw a comparison from that, and I'm coming to you, ESV, sir. You've had over 50 probationers. You've been mentoring people. I read your bio also. You are the right fit for this program. You are together. You fit each other. And I would like to ask, what are the guiding principles, the core values that has kept you going, that you knew that you needed to give? Simply put, all along, there was something that would take you from the first person to over 50 probationers. So what are the values? What are the core principles that has helped you to teach them? And what are the things you do mentoring them?
First of all, I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. So I knew what I went through in school. And from that experience, I told God that if I make it in this profession, I will have to go back to school. In my profession, people know that Johnbull constituency students, upcoming surveyors. At the last conference, I was not supposed to be there, but they gathered. After talking to them, up to now, they are still sending me messages that what I said has touched them a lot. So my experience as a student I felt, no, if I make it, and to God be the glory, I got to the zenith, became the president of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Even before then, I felt that there are a lot of all schools in Nigeria. You see students, they can't eat, they can't feed themselves, they can't pay school fees. So I felt that I should be able to help ply back to the profession that made me. So that was my driving force. I knew what I went through, and I told people, if I tell you today that I was once a bus driver in Lagos, while schooling, I was driving bus. Throughout my HND, I drove bus, and that did not stop me from becoming the best student in my department and in the faculty. So mine is from my upbringing. By that little period I was in that school, I knew what I went through. And I also saw some of my people, what they went through. So I just promised myself that if I make it, I'll have to plow back.
So you take from your experience, practical one, how you've gone through life, and you've done all you can to make sure they know
and
that.
And I keep doing it up to today. I noticed, for me, I only had one textbook which I could not finish paying till today. My friend gave it. So, but at the end of the day, I made it a point of duty from 2000 to 20, up to, for about 20 years, donating books to all libraries of estate management department, all the schools, whether private or public. No matter 3, 4, 5, 10, 3, 4, 5, 10.
That's amazing.
So
that's amazing, and that's quite insightful.
Yes.
From the few lines that was touching to me, you are both speakers, and I know you are also a public speaker. You speak very well. So how have you been able to put that into your leadership style? Because you speak, you face the crowd a lot. So does it transition? Does it conform to your leadership style? How did you evolve?
The act of speaking is what you groom yourself, and is an everyday thing. Most importantly is this: are you informed? For you to speak, you must be informed. So for you to be informed, how often do you read? Like I picked the 5 a.m. Millionaire from Robbie Sherman, talking about how a simple lifestyle should live. So if you notice how where you are going to and your leadership skills you want to improve in you, first thing first is to see, you see the global view of your vision. Yes, your vision. You have to look at your vision, because you can't give me what you don't have, and you can't give out what you don't possess. Am I communicating? So the act of speaking is one thing. Another thing is for you to stand tall in between that leadership role, to be able to give out the right information, the right mentorship. Because when you speak, when you are a leader, people are looking out for you. So that's very key.
That's amazing. We are going on a short break now.
My name is Olufemi Shea. I'm CEO of Casafina Development. I'd like to tell you this. Keep watching Achievement Channel.
Hello, my name is Roma Daniels. This is Achievement Channel. Please keep watching Achievement Channel, the first and only motivational channel in the country. Thanks, man.
Hello guys, my name is TK Classic. I'm a singer, songwriter and performer. I'm here live at the CEO Summit 2025, and this is Achievement Channel. Stay on the dial, don't leave.
Here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back to everyone. I'll go straight to the rumbling parts. Every life has a story, and you've shared so many good experiences. So what's that turning point? What's the most remarkable journey or story of your life story so far that you used to explain to everyone that this is it. This is what made me ESV, MNI, who I am?
First was the first day I joined the firm of Ogbaisi and Co. I just left school, won so many awards, and part was his own award in my department. And he requested for at least 3 persons, the best. So, of course, as the best student, I went to him. That day, the first meeting with him, he did not ask any question. He just handed over to me an assignment, a major assignment. So it was a big challenge. And I will never forget that day. To go and do evaluation, building plant and equipment in Benin. I've never met this man. I waited in his office. He ushered me in and gave me that assignment. Go and do this.
Someone gave you that chance.
That was the beginning. Very intelligent. He's late now. Very intelligent. He was a father to me. Then, from there, the period I became the national treasurer in 2004 was another defining moment in my career. Contesting with the big people. But I was so sure that I would win. And of course I won. And through then, I rose to become the president. And when you have vision, you know where you are going. You focus on it. You have passion to drive you. Just the fear of God in you. You will surely make it. Immediately I became president, I came up with new ideas we've never been doing before. And one of them was my courtesy visit to the National Institute as president. And to God be the glory, as I was leaving, I was fortunate to be sponsored by the presidency. And I became a member of SEC 46 of 2024. Being an MNI is everything to me. You meet policymakers, decision makers. You sit in class with people who want this country to be good, who is passionate to give their best to the fatherland. So those 3, and getting to Ogbaisi, entering the politics of NISV and becoming MNI was a big moment in my life.
I noticed the glee, the glamour when you speak about the gift of men, someone walking you through the door.
Yes.
And it means a lot. In mentorship now, Mr. Chris, stemming from what he has just mentioned, 2 questions I'm going to give to you. The first one is, how do you think entrepreneurs can overcome the challenges they're facing today? Number 1. Then the follow-up, which I'll need you to also, speak about is, so far so good. How have you been able to get grounded in? So you're a man of many parts. You're like a different coach on a moving train. So how have you been able to get grounded and become almost an expert at everything? So those are my two questions. The first one, the entrepreneurs, these challenges they are facing. You are mentoring them now. There's a lot. I can see that you're smiling alone. You can,
No, we need to, because if you're talking about challenges, entrepreneur, we need to be very specific.
Okay.
And, most entrepreneur from our own school of thought is profit making. If you go to any finance school today, they'll tell you, why are you in business? It's to make profit. But from my own school of thought, I've started especially considering our peculiarity of our society is to transfer knowledge.
That's a challenge.
We are not transferring knowledge, and it's facing us gradually. Now there is mismatch from the generation coming and the older generation. There was a day I was with one of my uncle, and he said to me, if I remember your story, your father, anytime you don't do well in school, your father will say, you're going to be a farmer, you're going to be a farmer, you're going to be. I said, yeah, today I'm a farmer. That was way back. I was small then. And truly, what happened to me, anytime we test, a lot of entrepreneurs have challenges in terms of wealth creation, sustaining the wealth and preserving it.
That's another challenge.
So now, and they die halfway. They make it look as if it's a normal retirement thing. It shouldn't be. The core thing is, when you see you understand certain businesses, bringing people into your business, transfer knowledge to them. When you transfer knowledge to them, build a team. You harness potentials. You're sitting down here and I'm learning one or two things. Because one of the things of any entrepreneur is to conceptualize ideas. Idea is wealth. I don't believe if I sit down, the day I sat down, when I moved into farming, was the day I was driving and I said to myself, land that much and people are hungry. Yes, there must be risk. Risk and return. The higher the risk, the higher the return. It's vice versa. So when I said, but what's my future? The future, when you go to Rwanda, if you drive from France down to Germany now, you see a lot of people, land mass on agriculture.
Yeah, descending anywhere, most places.
You see. So we've not harnessed all these potentials, and here we have Bank of Industry. We have Bank of Agriculture. What is their functionality?
We've attended to 3 challenges. You see, you are a moving train of many parts. You see? Go ahead.
Now, I realize that everybody wants to execute at the federal level, but I'm to solve the problem at the local level. So there is mismatch. So entrepreneur will not survive in such environment. I should be able to walk to my local government and go and tell them I have food stock. That was the day I was analyzing. I want to start growing tomatoes, vegetables, and co. And I was asking a typical Malam man, they say, it's 2 million naira to bring all those things from north down to Lagos here. And we've already factored the fact that 50% of those goods are going to be spoiled. So we factor the cost on which one is coming here. And I ask myself, so why can't I have such a thing closer?
So how do you get grounded? Because I noticed it was an open-ended question. You've given me 5. When we do a recall and we watch this show again, you will notice that you are really a man of many parts. Challenges, you've highlighted them, from trying to solve problems, transferring knowledge. You've done it without even knowing. So how do you get grounded? How are you doing this? You are a moving train. So how do you get grounded in? This is a question for people that think they are superheroes. And in reality, we have different gifts. You can not just be one. Like he rightly said, you can do different things very well. So how do you get grounded? How do you get to become an expert in almost everything? What do you need to do?
You don't need to be an expert. All you need to just solve problems at every sector.
And solve it well.
And solve it well. Now, how do you solve it? Do you check the book? For instance, I was checking the book of one of my farm, that's the Zikis Agri-Allied. We realized that we are spending huge amount of money buying maize for our feed meal, because most of our layers are consuming a lot to bring eggs. So what did I do? I acquired another land somewhere else. And I called Dr. Ayishi from Niger State. Get me exotic maize. And I built, I mean, like a makeshift. And I told my people, I need to have an irrigation here. And they were looking at me. I said, what I'm going for is, this book is showing 64% because we are actually bringing maize from Ibadan. You understand? Which they bring from the north. And I said, so I have land here. And somebody said, it's not. I said, no, I have to solve this problem. So for me to be grounded right now, saying that I identify problem and I identify immediate solution to it. And what did I do? I started planting maize. Everybody asked, I said, don't worry, let's focus on this maize. We're going to plant maize 3 times in a year with our irrigation system. And once we do, we'll keep it. I know what I want to do here.
You've done it again and you didn't notice. I noticed what you've just mentioned in someone of Munich called Ubahakin.
Yeah.
I was walking through a maize farm to feed piggery. Yeah. I did 30 minutes walking. And I was asking my friend, Volker, what is this for? I said, no, this is just to feed. And that's amazing. So you've answered the question without even knowing. We are going to have a second session. I'm going to throw you 2 questions or 2 for want of time. You give a lot. I did my research. You are a philanthropist. In fact, if I can, I'm looking for the word that is bigger than philanthropy. So you do it a lot. So how do you advise people that are looking, because this is just for younger generation now, a lot of older people will see, and how do you do it? How much is too small to give? And how do you create a legacy of giving philanthropy? Let me take it and summarize it. You give a lot, I know you give. And I know you are not a billionaire, you don't have $100 billion, but yet you are still giving. Your legacy is very clear. So how do you advise people? How do they go ahead to give? And how do they retain a legacy of giving? 2 questions.
First of all, there's this saying that the more you give, the more you receive. That's the law of karma. If you are passionate in helping people without not thinking of receiving, there's just no way the Creator will not remember you. And the issue of giving must not be cash. Men talking to people, taking them out of their problem. Not necessarily cash. There are a lot of people outside there who need to be talked to. And that's just enough for them. And their life will never be the same. As I said, I spoke at our conference last, it was this month of May, and I was able to talk to some students, young professionals, and they were so happy that their past president at that ladder came down low to their level and addressed them. There were some group of students, from which school, sir, we want to see you, we want to have a word with you. What I did was not just talking to them, some of those who have made it in the profession. Hey, Charles, come here. You are a developer. Talk to them about development. That 5 minutes discussion. Oh, you are evaluation experts. Come and talk to them how you do your evaluation. So I know that the more you give, it's individual thing, but when you give, don't expect any return. Don't say, I want to give because I want to get. No. Give freely and happily. And you must not, when you give, for me, I give painfully. I can decide to look for something in an attempt to assist you. I'll go and look for that thing to give to you. Because I know I'll be able to recover that from that whatever I've taken from another person. So just be God-fearing. Just try, do something. Touch, make people happy. In NIPS, most of my colleagues there, they know that. I usually tell them that when people are happy, I am happy. So whatever I can do to make people happy, I will do it. Again, it's not necessarily cash. Talking to people, giving them ideas, as I just said, ideas rule the world. When you give people ideas, no, you can do this, you can do that. The little support. So I believe that it's good to give.
That's amazing. That's deep. That's like so searching.
I have a foundation right now. Johnbull Amayaevbo Foundation. Giving. Giving to the less privileged. That mama, old woman hawking on the street, along the street. I will just stop. Ma, how much are you selling this thing? I'll call people again, walking around. Come and take all these things. And you pay and give extra. How much? Maybe all what she's selling is not even more than 10,000 naira.
Those are the acts of kindness that actually make us who we are.
That's it.
We are not all about profits. That's, you make a reference to when you talk to entrepreneurs, running some courses globally, and I know when we say the soul of business is to just make profits. So I'll ask you, since you are my Superman here now, like literally you are doing you are doing a lot at the same time. So how do we grow impact beyond profits? So as an entrepreneur, I just want money. He has given a very valid example of constantly giving back without expecting. It doesn't have to be, he answered that question without how big or how small. He answered it doesn't have to be really, really, really big. So how do we get to do impact as entrepreneurs without beyond profits?
You see, a paradigm has to shift. And I'm looking at the religious circle. From what they have said so far, most times I only talk to people and say, there are three people I don't like to advise. The churchgoers. Because any little thing, they will call on God. Whereas God has set up a template that in all things seek wisdom. People that believe so much in themselves. People that read, they always refer to the rich people. The rich people assume that, so you know too much and you're not as rich as I am.
Oh, you're rich?
I'm not rich. No, I'm just
no.
You see, the truth of it all is this. I have never seen money as an intrinsic factor in any business I've been doing. One of the things I've seen as an intrinsic factor is wealth creation. How do I take away poverty from the society? Taking away poverty from the society goes beyond. Let me cite some instances to you. Before I was 40, I was saying, God, when I wanted to pick either to relocate from this country, when I was leaving my paid job then, or to remain in this country. And I said to myself, if I leave this country, I'm going to work under somebody. So my dream of creating job, I've lost in that aspect. So what did I do? I started. Don't be careful. Every entrepreneurs are faced with the following challenges: government, community, and workers in terms of pay frame. So, however, because your focus
is on impact beyond profits,
my own is I will do, because amongst 10 people, you will have the right people that will tap into and expand their horizon beyond that material gain. And that's what I've been doing. So what do we do? It's not the profit. In this sector, I mean, we've been able to empower in terms of knowledge, in terms of standalone empowerment. And that's as I move to the religious circle. That is where government, individual needs to focus attention on right now. How today? What stops us? Because it will in a long run bring in more inflow into the church revenue. Now, and I don't want to go deep into that. If you empower with empowerment scheme, that shows that skills acquisition, you are the producer, you are the off-takers. We can marry ourselves down in the same church institution so that you make money. So those are the areas I've seen that aside profit, and that's been my last phase now to say, come to drop this money. So anytime I see them talking about expenses or social, because churches are very good in terms of social aspect, can't we start thinking about the population of the 80% that are inside that poverty line? Can we take 10% away?
You did it again. Why I'm saying it is because you have a vast wealth of experience. You've spoken about the impact, social impact, how to solve it without saying too much words. Parting short from you now, I'll allow you in 1 minute to say something to us. I'll allow you to, but I'll say one thing or just remember 2 songs to guide what you are going to use as your parting words to encourage our people. Jaguar, my belly, my head, because of austerity, you want to check out. In fact, that checkout takes me to Andrew, no checkout to Nigeria, yes. Go survive. Andrew don't go, we know. Andrew children are now trying to come back because they don't have the identity. You ask them, what's your name? My name is Eberechi. Is it? Waiting me that one. They want to come back. Parting words from you. What do you advise to people that are trying to make it, especially the younger ones, so below 40? What do you think they should do? How should they go about it?
First of all, in everything you do, you must plan. You must look at the feasibility and viability of anything you want to do. You must check. If I venture into this profession, you make research, you check. For those, any entrepreneurship, anything you want to enter, look at it. Then when you've decided, you've done all your plans, then implementation. Then in the course of chunking out your implementation also have to have strategies. Then after that, monitoring. You have to get the feedback. Excellent. Am I doing well?
Excellent.
Should I change or not to change? So if you are able to see it at the beginning to that end, you will surely make it. Be focused, be sincere. Sincerity, integrity. That's a big word in Nigeria today. Make sure you get, you can't get everything right. Just as he said, employers. Some just sit down there and pull down syndrome. They are pulling others back. But when you plan well, remain focused, hardworking, you have your integrity intact, of course, your limit is beyond the sky.
Japada. I had Abike Dabiri in one of the meetings I was with her, and I laughed when I had that. Since you mentioned it, your parting shot on Japa and Japada, what do you think with entrepreneurship?
To me, I always say to people, there are opportunities in crisis. And there is an opportunity in this country. That is a slogan I always use. I say, Nigeria is owing me. I have a friend like that. We're all in this country. So we have a lot of friends. We're like 5. A lot of them, they've traveled out indirectly. Whenever we attack them, blah, 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 I'll say, come, don't be talking abroad. Come and talk at home here. That's what we know here, man.
Excellent.
I say, we have seen ourselves from. So there are opportunities in crisis. The only opportunity, you can only see it when you are committed. You can only see it when you're focused. You can only see it when you make failure fearless. You can only see it when you limit yourself to a circle of people that are dogmatic and they give you joy. And you can only see it when you have the right spouse. I'll say this, 75% of your life is being determined by the spouse you choose. So for the younger generation coming, I'm giving them this tip. Be intentionally greedy with your vision. Make your vision your obsession.
Beautiful.
Just make it your obsession so that your glory can shine. Don't stop.
It's amazing. It is. If I am allowed, this session will not end. But as you can see, we have a lot. Hoping we have to get time to bring them back. Take this from me, from everything we've said and my own parting shots. I have 4 eyes, like I tell people. The prism with which you see life, seeing opportunities in crisis, seeing helping people as the right thing to do without expecting, planning, having integrity. What did you see when you listened to us? The prism of life is your prison. What do you see in Nigeria? Andrew, no go check out. Nigeria go better. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Achievement on the Achievement channel. It's been an enriching conversation on how purpose can turn careers into platforms for change. A big thank you to our guests, ESV Johnbull Amayaevbo and Mr. Chris Ogbaisi, for sharing your journeys and wisdom. Let's continue this important conversation. Follow at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and YouTube for more achievement programs and updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us. Until next time, I am Martins Oloye, reminding you, don't just chase success. Lead with purpose and let your life be the inspiration someone else needs.